Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful like Akim pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the Akim and Akwath listening and learning. This is the Brother Karathaza of Minnevala, Las Vegas camp, coming back with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. And, the prophets, the true prophets of the Lord, starting with the apostles and elders of GMS, and those who teach the likewise doctrine, we've been telling you that, Esau gonna come, he'll start kicking down doors, and we're seeing it in the news, with these events that are going out in Chicago, and who they sending. I'm not gonna play this, but they're sending, the feds, seeking, and they're using the excuse of, the domestic T era, risks, and the ICE using the excuse of, those gangs. And if you look like them, they could use that as an excuse to, take you away. Or detain you for a period of time, whether you be, guilty or innocent. And they say that, you'll be promptly released. But, if you go back through their history, you got to question their understanding of the word promptly. Because from what I've seen, is that people that get detained don't get promptly released, as the word promptly truly means. They don't get a swift or a speedily trial, as this place here in Babylon the Great says that, that they give. So we've seen it. If you've been tuned into the news, you had that Big Shirley talking about they were snatching up kids. I had this, I was looking at this article from Reuters. U.S. Border Patrol raid sweep and citizens, families as Chicago crackdown intensifies. And all this, all this is also leading to, uprisings of the people. You have people protesting in front of these ICE facilities. They've been doing that all week. Portland, which I want to look into that video before I speak more on it, but they got, riots going on out there, or protests. as well, and it's all the same. But we seeing how, okay, look what they doing to these people's homes. I believe in this article, one lady said she came back, house boarded up, none of her shit there. All right. So I'll just read the summary. This is 3:09 this morning. It says U.S. citizens and families caught up in raid targeting alleged, gang members, and they've been using that as their excuse. Okay. The Tren de Agua, I think that's what that gang called that they're looking for. And on the news, yeah, they gonna put these numbers, in your face to make it seem like they're actually doing something. So debris and personal belongings sit on floor of an empty apartment in a complex where 37 people were detained during a large-scale ICE raid on Tuesday. It says Trump administration intensifies immigration enforcement in look what they, not just in what democratic cities, not just places of high immigration. All right. Trying to build that narrative. Criticism over Border Patrol's aggressive tactics in Chicago. And they, this article will tell you they, sending the feds out on Border Patrol in your cities. There's testimonies of kids being, dragged out their homes butt naked, zip tied, people getting punched in the face by these modern day centurions. Okay. Look at Esau hit his standing proud. All right. But yeah, we told you. The prophets of the Lord told you, and now you're going to see it. So there's a couple scriptures I want to grab. We'll save second address. This is the book of Psalms 10. I think we start at 9. Actually, Psalms 10 and 8 says, He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. I want to see what that. Court, enclosure, settled abode, settlement, village, town. All right. Pretty much they go and trap. Okay. Hey, what do they call these, these apartment buildings? All right. They call them the trap houses. All right. Damn, I forgot the name can't even think of the movie with Nino Brown. All right. That was a court, They had their own. See, it says, as similarly surrounded with walls. These apartment complexes. You know, the apartments. The hood. Okay, it says in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. All right, and that's where these raids are happening. All right, and said in the south side of Chicago. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him in to his net. All right, he's rounding y'all up, and then we'll take everybody out that motherfucker. Then we'll sift you and see if you're but we gonna detain you first. It says he croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. So they said that they was going in for the them gang members, but they pulled everybody out. The innocent, was treated like they was like they wasn't. Okay, this is Isaiah 10. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And pretty much these acts that are going on right now, they're not even approved by the Constitution, but they're using this the guise of peace and safety, and doing what's right for the people to protect them from domestic ism. All right, that they're allowing it to happen for the time being, but it's still going up to lawmakers to see if it's even constitutional, which is not. But that don't matter. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. As you heard, there was, and as you can see, go watch the news, that hey, they's rounding up kids. All right, they was rounding up the kids too. Now, whether their parents got detained, they was taking them. We know how ICE was moving during the C-19, and they was separating the family there. Hey, this no different than in time of Moses and at the time of Yahushua. Okay, let's go to let me read down on this. This is and what it says in what verse 3, and what will ye do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? And that's the thing that you understand, that hey, if you don't have Yahweh Shimon Shai, all right, and you ain't got no protection. And what it says, and what will ye without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this is the anger. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. So the Lord is using, Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, as his chastisement. He's using these agents to put hell, on Jake, and it's going to come into that time as never before that we've been, I put Jacob. It's like I'm thinking Jacob's trouble. We're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:6. I'll start at 5. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Okay? And as the prophets prophesied that warning and you took no heed. Okay? It says, ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, and things are only going to amplify from here. All right, you ain't seen nothing yet. The Lord, is very, angry with the 2/3 of his nation. All right, with the wicked of his people. Okay, and things will intensify, but we're at the beginning of it. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So we're in this time, like no other. Okay. And Esau ain't even brought out all the toys and delusions and, enchantments that he's capable of. So put that in your brain, marinate on that. Let that marinate. You ain't seen nothing yet. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Only the elect will be saved out of Jacob's trouble. Everybody else has a lot, that they're going to fall into, as it also says in the book of Jeremiah. Those for the sword, you won't, be taken out by the sword. Those famine, death to death. Okay? But the elect shall be saved out of it if you have the faith. And that faith better be coupled with work and repentance, and belief on Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. This is 2nd Esdras 16. Verse 70. For there shall be in every place, and in the next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, and that starts with, judgment starts in his house. But that speaks of the whole nation of Israel. Okay? But they're doing this, this is all leading up to the persecution of the saints, the true believers of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, because then that's really who Esau after. Okay? So how much more are they going to come for you, all right, for the elect. Yeah, but the Lord is going to, we have faith that the Lord is going to deliver out of us out of these situations. But yeah, the scriptures speak about much tribulation we must enter. We must go through to get to the kingdom. Yeah, some of us will be, locked up, detained. But that's just a part of the cost. All right. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Okay. Madmen sparing none, and the full extent will play out. All right. The prophecies will play out in its entirety before we get up out of here. And we're saying that time is now. I'm just going to leave off on this. This is going to be, let me do it like this. Ecclesiasticus 5. No, I don't want to work. Let me do this real quick. Slacky. Come on. Let me get that same verse I just read. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 70. In the GNT, it says, in many places near the cities, there will be violent persecution against those who fear the Lord. The attackers will act like wild people. They will plunder and destroy without pity all those who still fear the Lord. They will turn them out of their homes and take away all their possessions. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people, and they will prove to be as pure as refined gold. So, it says enough. We're seeing that. Let's see if this one will work. No? It's alright. Sirach 5 and 7 in the GNT says, come back to the Lord quickly. Don't think that you can keep putting it off. His anger will come upon you suddenly, and you will die under his punishment. All right? And that's the main thing we're preaching, man. If you don't repent, you'll find out that to be true. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7 in the KJV, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security. When you nice and bundled up, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Till the next time, Shalom.